making my first video game in Bevy by following a tutorial on the internet. Also not entirely because I ran out of time. Bevy is a free and open source game engine that is data driven. Do I know what that means? Not entirely, but it's basically the opposite of OOP, which I can get behind. The tutorial I followed was from Jacques. Absolutely amazing, only had to change a few things to update the engine version. The game I made is a simple collect coins avoid enemy type of game. This video is for future me in case I forget how the engine works. Also, PSA, I don't know much about the engine, I'm kind of a noob, so there will be mistakes. With that, let's begin. First, after creating a new cargo project in the dependencies, add Bevy along with the version they use set and these things to make the compilation step faster. Then run cargo build and wait for 10 minutes. Your computer is not broken, it will just take a long time. Next, in the main.rs file, import Bevy and in the main function, add the Bevy app, add the default plugins and end it with the .run function. Next, cargo run to see a blank window open up. This means the engine is working. One of the taglines of Bevy is that it is data driven, which I believe means that the data is given priority over some abstraction like class. But my way of understanding is that it encourages composition over inheritance. The system at the center of this is the ECS system. I am going to attempt to summarize it in a minute. Every object in the game world is an entity. These entities are made up of components that can define certain properties that are unique. For example, an enemy component can have a unique direction vector that points in the direction when it spawns. Systems are how we do things on entities, so change direction system changes the direction of the enemy. This sort of system means that a system can affect any entity that has a component in it, which can be searched for using a query, which has filters to condense the search result pool, kinda like SQL. This is faster, apparently, and allows for parallelization. I still don't know how that works. The way you add entities is by using the spawn command. So you pass in the required components, bundles, and it creates an entity in the world. To add systems, there are two things to consider. First is whether the system will run on startup or on update, which runs every frame. The other thing is the order in which the systems run. This process can be simplified using a simple dot before and dot after methods or using system sets that can be used to group a number of systems. Sometimes we may also need items that are available globally and unique. For those, we use resources. These can be timers, scores, etc. But other times we want to communicate between systems. So we use events. Things like update the score in the UI whenever it changes. These require an event reader and an event writer. But a game has more than gameplay. It needs a game over screen, a menu screen, and a pause menu. The game needs to have some way of knowing when the game should play or when the score should be reset. This is where states come to play. By creating an enum of states and setting them, we can toggle between pause and play, menu and game. Specification of systems can be done using runif conditions. I did run into a problem where I wanted to access a particular field in the state enum. Turns out you can't just directly access it, you need to use a method for it. I don't like UI designs. I find it fun at the start, but towards the end, the positioning, the gap, alignment, it is tedious. I respect people who do it, but can we please normalize more GUI based options? That is all I have to say. Thank you. Bevy's UI is very similar to CSS. The flexbox model with the gap, flex direction, background color. Interesting and maybe better than CSS, but not a fan. It's kind of long with nested children bundles, but that's not a big issue. Or maybe it's just me. So that's the gist of what I did for making a game in Bevy and understood along the way. I'll see you in the next video. Do not watch my last one.